Is my voice clear to everyone? We will. Prashant, why you are opening, closing the door? Don't disturb. Okay. Is my voice clear to everyone? Am I audible? Is anyone facing any issues with the audio? Very important question. This chat may, if you can. No, sir. So no one is facing any issues. Good. We're all good. So the purpose of today's session is manifold. To begin with, the first and the most important thing is that we will be having our second GWPI bootcamp this coming Saturday, Sunday. The first GWPI bootcamp happened last weekend, and we had very good panelists. We had people from the field of marketing, people from the field of finance, people from the field of consulting, and CAs and other people who are there to test your domain knowledge and goal clarity. So we'll be discussing about the feedback of that bootcamp so that students don't commit the same mistakes that they committed in the first bootcamp in the second bootcamp. That's the first thing. Second thing is that, okay, so this coming weekend we have the online bootcamp, not the physical bootcamp. After this weekend, we'll be having a physical bootcamp as well. This Saturday, Sunday, the online bootcamp, we will be having 8 panelists. And these 8 panelists have been, every year we do this, that we select the 3 top consulting firms, which is Bain, BCG, and McKinsey. At IIM Lucknow, and the consulting club final year students who are a part of these companies now, they basically take the interviews, and among them also there is a healthy diversity. So some are from engineering background, some are from BCom, some are from BBA, some are from economics. So it's a complete mix. So the way it will be happening is that some people will be giving the interview, some people will be observing the interview, and those who are observing also, they will be shuffled, like how we do in the physical boot camp. And what is the difference is that in the first boot camp, before that, any interaction that I had with any one of you was on how to develop your SOP. So right from the academic connect to the skill set connect to the environmental connect to all your USPs have to be neatly stacked up in your SOP. Plus, one mistake that students do is that they try to read others' SOP and they try to read others' answers and all, which is a wrong thing, because everyone's SOP will be different. Okay, what is an SOP? An SOP will be the same as telling me something about yourself to an extent. Why? One bad way to talk about. So right now we'll be focusing on this. Tell me something about yourself. Tell me something about yourself is the most often asked question in interviews. Most often asked question. Like if you see which is the most often asked question, that and then I bet that tell me something about yourself will be at least 60 to 70% in the interview. They'll be asking you, tell me something about yourself. I'll be discussing which are not the right pieces of information that needs to go in tell me something about yourself, and which are the very important things that need to be there. First, what should not be there in your tell me something about yourself. So okay, you're saying my name is Mayank Agarwal and I am from this particular city, and then you start saying I've done 10th and 12th from that city, from that school. Like why? What is, like, this is not a knowledge. So if you have studied from some XYZ school, doesn't interest anyone, the interview as well. Like how much you got in 10th and how much you got in 12th, it is right there in front of them. So okay, fine, you can say that, hi, my name is Mayank Agarwal, or you don't say hi, of course. Say, hello sir, my name is Mayank Agarwal, I am from Unnao, or I'm from Kanpur. And then like you go towards the important points. Of course, if you're currently studying, then you say, sir, I'm pursuing BTech from HPTI college in IT. That is important. Why? Because you have gone there for an interview, which is for an academic program. So it's an academic interview. It's very, very important that you talk about your college, like what you're doing, at least, in your college. Then what will it be having? The important points, your important point. Everyone's important points are different. I have been reading answers, and I'm happy that after maybe the first round, or maybe after like first discussion, the generally students, when they're sending the second version of their SOPs. They are very, very good. Some of them are brilliant actually. And the best part is that everyone's SOP is different. Why? Because okay, they're saying my name is this, I'm from this city, I'm doing this. Then they come to the important points. Everyone's important points, like for some, the co-curriculars, extracurricular takes the cake. For some, the academic part only takes away the cake. For some, the environmental connect, that father is in business or brothers are from MBA or they are BTech pass outs who working in big multinational companies, and they only keep telling me that you should do MBA, it will benefit more, you know. So like depending on your points, the points are going to be stacked up. So everyone's answer is going to be different. Let's not, if this was the case, have you ever, I have taken classes for GWPI, and like, you know, so as one of the most popular cat mentors, you know, I have you ever seen me actually reading people's SOP and all? Because it will set a wrong thing in your head. If someone's talent is in music and like, so their SOP will have, you know, a good amount of, like depending on what points you have, like what is your background, who are you? Like if suppose someone asks me, okay, Ashish, please tell me something about yourself. Am I talking about maybe Divi Joshi, that okay, let me talk about first. Okay, Divi, what is your answer? Will I copy that answer? No need to copy the answers, no need to copy the format. Okay, yeah, if today we're discussing, tell me something about yourself to begin with in the class. Why? Previously had asked the interviewers to basically test you a lot on the SOP. SOP is basically why MBA and why should we select you. When we talk about why MBA, we discussed that how come, you know, first look at the academic connect, skill set connect, and environmental connect. Then what will be the order and mixing will depend upon which points are heavier in your case. So for some students, it can be the academic connect. They would have, like for example, for BBA students, raw subjects in MBA are common. BCom students also raw subjects are common, and also maybe the academic connect will be stronger if you have been good in the academics, especially on those subjects. You can bring it way forward in your answer. For some people, it may not be the case. Then in some cases, someone is having so many, like I was reading an SOP today of a student, and that SOP was filled with so many achievements and participations, you know, at group level, organizational level, at college level, and across, arts, literature, and this and that, and sports and all. Some people will have it very strongly in their candidature that the skill set part, you know, is very appealing. So they'll be mentioning it up in the answer. For some people, the environmental connect, for example, especially for those people who are working, so their environmental connect will be very strong. Like they're already working, they're doing the work. On the basis of that, how they're able to gauge this, that okay, let's go for an MBA program. So, you know, they will be way up in the answer, talk about their work and what they have learned, what they have observed, what they have contributed, how further they are, you know, coming to this point that okay, let's do an MBA. It's going to make me like not only learn but also contribute more. If you learn more, if you know more, you will be able to do more, know more, do more types. So you know, different people will have different arrangement. But okay, in the SOP why MBA, we are looking at these three major things. How you present it depends on, again, your strongest points will come first and weakest points will go down. Now you'll ask me, sir, which is a strong point, which is a weak point. You will only know because you will know the level of that thing because you have done it. So you will know more than anyone. And then why to select you, your USPs, which will overlap with the skills also. Your USPs, your good points, your strongest points, of course, will be coming first. For some people, it is acad. For some people, it is sports. For some people, it is the responsibilities that they have taken as prefects and captains and college presidents and all. For some people, it will be something else. For some people, it will be like in WorkX, what they have observed, the skills, you know, and the things which they are good at because they have been proven on the work front as well. So it depends actually. But the order depends, but why to select you? Your best point. So the mix, it's basically a very individual, like not like you can't. That's the reason you can't copy it. It's a very personal mix of your academic skill set, environmental connect, and the good points about you, which makes a good SOP. Now, in this boot camp, they will be testing you also on tell me something about yourself. So, as an exercise, those people will be giving the interviews. in the boot camp, they will have to tell me something about yourself in their handwriting, or they can type it if they have poor handwriting, and that's going to be submitted to the interviewer, and they'll read it, during the interview as well as before the interview. So tell me something about yourself. So this is the most, this is, if you're asked, tell me something about, what are the chances of you being asked, tell me something about yourself? I said 60-70%. So there's a very high chance you'll be asked, tell me something about yourself. If you are asked, tell me something about yourself, it's a very good thing. It's a big window of opportunity, because you can put across the strongest points about you in the right manner, and you can lead the interviewer in, as a beginning question only, if, tell me something about yourself is asked, and you basically, tell them things which engage them further, and then you're in a position to lead the interview, and then in 15-20 minutes your discussions around what you want them to discuss about will happen, and the interview will close on a very positive note. Interviews are very important. You see, for some business schools like IIM Ahmedabad, 50% to 60% of the final selection points is for interview. So interview and WAT, AWT in IIM Ahmedabad, of course. But like in other institutes, WAT, in other IIMs, non-IIMs, they take GD, and they will, some of them will be having like Symbiosis group task, and Narsi Monji will be having case study. We do all those things, but today it's all about interview, because we are having the interview boot camp. So any questions so far? I hope whatever points I wanted to put forward in the beginning of the class, I've been able to. If anyone is thinking I'm going very fast, they can ask me to go slow, so then I can, adjust the machine inside and go slower. Good. I think nobody's typing anything. That means, yeah, people are getting it mostly. Yeah. So tell me something about yourself. You tell them your name, the place you're from, and what you're currently doing, and then come to your strongest points. So you'll ask me, sir, what do you mean by kya bole? मतलब strongest points कौन से? सबका अलग है. How can I tell you which are your strongest points? If you show me all your points, I can tell you which are the strongest points. In fact, right now also in the class, if someone wants to post, they tell me something about yourself or SOP, they can do that. So I can quickly, tell others also how to like frame it and how to go about it and things like that. But this is an important exercise to everyone. Tell me something about yourself. Your best points. If you're a good crisis manager, talk about it first. If you're brilliant in your displayed management skills for real, like how some students like Vaibhav, he was managing more than 600 people in his team in the college fest, and he along with his partner, and the budget was huge and everything was huge, so much of responsibility. That's actual management work required, right? From planning, strategizing thing, to executing, to measuring everything. Like in your fest, what's the increase in the footfall? Like what did you do differently? If you're saying you're innovative, which are the places in which you can show that you're innovative? Okay, yeah, if you're at work, then maybe you use some new approach towards an assignment or towards the work. And I recall after I am Kozhikode, I was working with Fleet Management Nobel Group based out of Hong Kong. So I was working for the shipping arm, which was like having around 250 plus cargo vessels. So I designed, so generally these merchant navy people, they are, they go on contract, they are like on contract wages, they're not on salaries, they're on contract wages. So like whether it be the engineering side or the deck side, the captain and or chief officer and all. So what I did was I selected a handful of people like who are good, and I said, okay, instead of giving you guys contracts of 6-7 months, 12 months at max, I will be giving you a contract of 5 years. In that, I will give you medical insurance, I will give you your children like school support, school fees, basically school and college fee support, and some other things. And plus, generally you will not be sent on a voyage which will be like how generally it is for 6-7 months, 8 months at a stretch. You go for 2-3 months and return, go for 2-3 months, and also that you can keep meeting your family also at all. This project was very successful. We did for one of our big clients called Spar Shipping, based out of Scandinavia, and it worked a lot. It increased the productivity, and because there are people, for 5 years also you're getting a full-time feel from them, so you're able to like fly them to if some ship is in crisis somewhere. So like, there are people, so we can like dictate the terms. This was innovative, a new way in shipping industry, in merchant navy. Generally, people want contracts for the sale. I said, okay, let us increase it to 5 years. Let us give it a full time kind of feel. These parties and all for the families also when they are gone, together, so that innovative approach. Innovative need not always be that you build a machine or you build a robot. If you're building that, that's brilliant. Mention it. But even if you're not building it, then show that you're innovative. Fest किया क्या उसमें innovative किया. So like there are. It's not that every time you have to think tangible. And say are you innovative? You have to think tangibly. क्या Facebook बनाया? क्या बनाया? कैसा innovation? No, even if you have used a novel approach, novel is what new towards something, or it is innovative. So basically, you can dictate the interview. First, you need the confidence. I saw people during the boot camp. The moment the heat was on, the moment the pressure was on, they were just struggling, and they were struggling so badly that they were coming up with very unintelligent answers, very dull answers and all. And this happened to like the best of the best, everyone. So first you need the confidence. Why? If you don't have the confidence, then how will you dictate the interview? It's like two people meet. Always remember this. Two people meet. One person will dictate the conversation, and you can do that only if you're very confident and you can talk about the things and you can make them talk about your things. How? By putting it in a very interesting, in a very relevant, in a very pertinent way, in a very like in a way which of course like you have to learn the art of presenting your strongest point. This is an interview actually. Learn the art, and how it starts with being confident. If you are nervous, then no way you will be able to perform well. In fact, I saw some people, they were carrying ghosts of the past. So that's the reason they were not able to perform very well. But I told them, what's the point of carrying ghosts of the past? Like, are you going to keep living in the past, or you want to like come out, in present and make a good future for yourself? So like, be positive in the interview, because that's one of the prerequisite. It's like how in people in life, people say, "Hey, be positive." ठीक है, नहीं भी हो positive so चलेगा. But in interview, if you're not confident, if you're not positive, you won't be able to lead the interview. Then what happens? The interviewer is at the mercy of the interviewer. What will the interviewer ask? Whatever he knows. So what are the possibilities of his knowledge and your knowledge being a set of each other? I don't know. There is no science to it. But of course, it is not only 100%. So he may start, if he likes history, he'll start asking you history. If he likes space and like science, he'll start asking you about that. If he likes music, suddenly he'll go, he's into politics. Most of these people, if you give them an opportunity, maybe they'll start talking about politics and all. So you never know like what they will ask when you start talking about economics, about taxation and all these things. It happened with some of you during the boot camp. So what is the best way to avoid such a tragedy where you are at the mercy of the interviewer and you may not be able to dodge all bullets? Best way is to be confident and talk about things. They will give you a space. Generally, 80 to 90% of the interviews, it will go like they'll give you an opportunity. Now, if you're not able to utilize that opportunity, then you're a fool, because that's the reason you have gone there. You have gone there to convert the interview. That's the job. So bring your strongest points forward. I remember during my time, I had made these good points about me. These 5, 6 points were there in all the interviews. I used to have it with me in the A4 sheet. So if I get very nervous, if I get scared, I just look at them and I know that okay, these are the points I want to talk about. In one of the interviews, it happened. They asked me, "What are you carrying? What is this?" He said, "This is so that, sir, in case I'm not able to communicate well, I wanted to discuss these points about my candidature." So it got their attention. They started reading and asking from it. So it's very important to stop the points, the best things about you. You will know that. It will be a mix of tangibles and intangibles. For some, there will be too many points. So the challenge is going to be how to present them. So like I read some SOPs which are like loaded with very good points. Like you cannot remove those points. So my suggestion was what very simple. If you're explaining some one point in 3 lines, make it 1 line, like make it shorter. If they ask you further about that point, then you elaborate further. Because it may not take 90%, the chances that they won't allow you to finish your personal answer. If they'll ask you some personal question, they won't allow you to finish the answer, because that's how interview happens. You say something, then they pick something, they ask you, then again you say something, they pick up. The arrangement of points is very, very important. For example, for this particular student, I saw in the end it was written that she has good communication skills and she's in the comparing things at college and school, and she was also the prefect and some other points. So then this was at the end of maybe one A4 sheet. So I said that your answer would never reach, the end of the sheet when you're giving it verbally. So it's very, very important that you don't explain a lot initially. It's like how you click on it, then you get more. So brevity, that is being concise. The second is the arrangement of points is very, very important. Like being prefect or being head boy or being, presidents of your college clubs and committees and all, they expose you to organizational responsibilities. Like some student ask what's the difference between organizational responsibilities and co-curricular activities. Organizational responsibility, like you are a part of a committee or it's like a mini organization. So that exposes you to carrying out directions, to passing on directions, to getting the work done, to doing the work yourself as well. There will be, of course, crisis. Now you don't have to think crisis will be like big crisis, crores and billions and all are at stake. At that level, the kind of crisis you are facing is also a crisis. It's like as you progress, the crisis will keep becoming bigger. So you talk about the crisis and multitasking, ye bhi kar rahe, wo bhi kar rahe. So like if you have been, it's a very important point. But it's just that if you have other points as well, so okay, explain in such a way that one line, and then if they ask, then that one line opens to three lines. That should be the way of presentation. Any doubt so far? Any? Sir, is it okay to tell these things about ourselves in order from school to college to work? No, the chronology is not important, Arjun. Like it's जो बड़े पॉइंट है वो ऊपर आएंगे, जो छोटे पॉइंट है वो नीचे रहेंगे. कौन बड़ा है कौन छोटा पॉइंट है तुम जानोगे, बिकॉज तुमने किया है, तुम्हें उसका लेवल पता है, मतलब यू नो द level at which you had to like excel in that particular thing. So you can plus sometimes ये भी होता है कि कोई बहुत बड़ी चैलेंजिंग चीज तुमने की है और वो मतलब ऐसा बहुत बड़ा नहीं लग रहा है, बट तुम्हारे लिए वो बहुत बड़ा है बिकॉज वो तुम्हारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था. लाइक पीपल maybe some people have stage fright and they become very good at public speaking. It's a very big thing for them, so they would like to mention it towards the beginning. Like some things are very personal, like, and if personally some things have made a huge impact in your life, I think you should definitely tell it to the interviewer, because it gives a peep into your personality. At the end of the day, interview is a personality test. It's an attitudinal test. Even when they're asking you about your college subject, they're checking your attitude that अरे ये 3-4 साल करके आया है तो कुछ बेसिक तो इसको पता है कि नहीं पता. So it's like that. Other questions? You can post other questions as well. It will give me some time to maybe have water. In the boot camp, you will be wearing formals, like how we had in the physical boot camp as well. You all will be wearing formals. Those people who will be observing also, they will be wearing formals. And the second thing is that you need to be prepared with your folder. That folder will be having first, tell me something about yourself, which you'll write very neatly. Avoid a lot of verbosity. Don't like your objective should be कितने वैरायटी ऑफ पॉइंट्स हम दिखा सकते हैं, शोकेस कर सकते हैं इन आराम से टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ, रादर देन एक चीज के ही ऊपर अगर हम लोग बहुत बातें करें या उसके बारे में बोले. बट हाँ, अगर कोई बड़ी जीत है या कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है तो वो तो समझाने की जरूरत है. लाइक दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन इट विल आल्सो हैव योर सीवी, इट विल बी हैविंग योर रेज्यूमे. तो आपको रेज्यूमे भी बनाना है, तो रेज्यूमे भी तो यही रहता है. यू नॉट बिलीव दिस हैपेंड. Like I wanted to apply for a job long time ago. I'm talking about like 10-12 years ago. So I went to an uncle of mine, his family friend, and he was the vice president HR of IBM. And I asked him how to make my CV. This was my question to him. So he said that generally what we are trying to see through your CV is your achievements, because your achievements will define what you're really good at, like, you know. So a CV ideally is again the same like an SOP, or tell me something about yourself. You like to showcase what you're good at. Okay, some things will be there which will be very basic, like a table which will be having your 10th, 12th graduation marks and board and your subjects and all those things, the basic things. It will definitely have the best things about your candidature. Plus, it will be having, because it's an academic interview, things like the papers you have presented, or like good essays you have written, or your internships, or your projects. You know, it will be having a mention of that, like the subject and what did you do. Like everywhere, you should try to showcase your contribution, which at times will be your achievements as well. Your contribution, some of them stands out, so they're called achievements. So, like the CV also should highlight your candidature. So, like, you know, people write at the end hobbies and interests. So you can the professional, if you're working, then professional accomplishments can be a box. And then if you're at college, then all the achievements that you have of co-curricular, extracurricular. Co-curricular is which is happening as a part of the school college only, like house matches and all those annual days and all. Extracurricular is something which has nothing to do with it, like, you know. So I used to play for Ranchi Cricket Academy when I was studying in Delhi Public School. So that Ranchi Cricket Academy was outside, that I was doing on my own, so that's extracurricular actually. But if I win in, say, some school meet and all cricket, then it is going to be co-curricular, part of the curricular. Now, so you can write scholastic achievements, co-curricular achievements, extracurricular achievements. You can write, some people, if they have very strong objective, you know, career objective. You can also put career objective in your resume. You have a very well-defined career objective. So one is going to be, tell me something about yourself. One question has come to me. In CV and achievement, having certificates is necessary. So it again depends. कुछ तो क्या ही ऐसा ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा नहीं करना कि you have mentioned 5 6 points and none of those points are supported with any you know, certificate and all. ठीक है, if you don't have some certificates but those things actually happen here, you should of course talk about it. See, the way you'll explain and the clarity, rather than saying depth, the clarity of subject that will reflect in the way you talk will confirm by itself, like whether the point you're talking about is genuine or not. Like, you know, it's very easy to catch when you're bluffing or when you're like in interviews. Also, we see, like in the boot camp, you guys would have experienced that it's not that easy to bluff, because they will catch you. Their sole job is to catch you. So of course, like it's difficult to outwit the inspector. You know, it's better to pay, but here you can't pay. Okay, fine. And one more question is there. Let me. Yeah, CV can extend to. So my CV that time, 12 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, was of 3 pages. And I like tried to make it as compact and bullet point based as possible, but still it was 3 pages. It's okay. Like, ऐसा नहीं है कि it's compulsory to, when you do MBA for a summer internship, yeah, they ask you to make it a 1 pager, because like they have to send it for like 400 students and the PACECOM has to manage it. So 1 pager is easier to manage, but yeah, you can. Sir, where in an SOP should I mention about the classical music that I have learned? I was not able to connect it with the matter in my SOP. Everything is connected. See, if you are into classical music, you know, it's a discipline. Music is a discipline, so it requires discipline also. It's not that easy. And apart from that, you have strict McKay, you know, in most of these colleges also. So they would want someone, you know, who is having some exposure to classical music. And plus all these colleges have cultural fest where you have to showcase your talent, so that, you know, people say that, okay. So I recall that in I am Code's annual fest, first annual fest, I was a part of the play and the play was a big hit, so I was able to add value. So like similarly, if you are from classical music background, you will be adding some value. So it is important, it is required there. B, it shows that you are having a multi you know, faceted personality. You are a multifaceted person. It's not that you know, there are different dimensions to your personality. So yeah, where it will come again will depend, no? Like अगर कोई classical music का एकदम बहुत ही बड़ा आदमी है, बहुत अवार्ड जीता है, तो उसको पहले दिखाएगा. अगर छोटा है तो बाद में दिखाएगा. मतलब it depends. जो बड़े पॉइंट्स है ऊपर रहेंगे. So will all of us have our individual mock interview during the boot camp? Of course not. Like, it's not. possible. But don't worry, all of you will get chances to give interviews. Anyways, I think the Joshi sir is taking interviews in his classes. That's what I have seen. The boot camp, many boot camps will happen. One boot camp has happened, some three, four, five boot camps will happen. So this in the next boot camp, we are giving chance to the I am Bangalore has released its call, I am Calcutta has released its call. So I am Bangalore and I am Calcutta students will be given first opportunity. Plus some students who are having very high 99 plus, we know they're going to be getting A calls or L calls, I calls. They will be getting the opportunity. Then those students who are above 98, who are in the bracket 98 to 99, they will be given the opportunity. And some other calls which have come up like new IIMs or baby IIMs, will be giving a chance to them probably if it is possible. And also SPJN people will definitely be giving the interviews. So I hope I have clarified it. Sir, I wrote the answer to tell me about yourself. Can I share it? Yeah, you can share it. Maybe it will help others in knowing too. In CV, can you mention college project? Yes, of course. सुगंध और क्या मेंशन करेंगे मतलब हमारा तो ये करियर जैसे सीवी क्या है करियर के बारे में बात कर रहा है so in college project is a part of the career your career as a student so yeah you can talk about it. Any other questions? I want to see because I think I'm interacting after quite some time after the boot camp. So any questions you have? Some students in the boot camp, even though they were having their answer, they were not going to present it because they, got the fear factor to an extent. Very few people performed very, very well. So don't worry, with every boot camp, you guys will improve. Observation is very, very important. Very, very important. So we will be sharing the profile also of the interviewer so that you guys can make up your mind कि किस interview room में बैठना है. There will be multiple links. At one point, there will be 4 links minimum, and it will be posted on the Telegram group. So you can join via any link and you can observe the interview which is going on. You'll be of course muted, but you can observe the interview. And those who have to give the interview, we'll get in touch with them anyways over the next 2 days and tell them the schedule and all. Okay, so this girl has basically, okay, she has not posted her answer yet. Someone else is asking, बैचलर भी है मास्टर डिग्री भी है दोनों के प्रोजेक्ट मेंशन करें हाँ मेंशन करो yes you can of course you can so this girl Ria has basically shared something and I'm downloading it right now. Others can also download. Okay, so I'm going to be reading out her answer and I'm going to be telling you where she is right, where she is wrong. Believe me, you'll start understanding, getting a hang of it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ria Bamba. I hail from Rudrapur, which is located in Uttarakhand. So why you want to use which is located? That's what. So you avoid the verbosity in language. You have to present more point. So good evening, sir. My name is Ria Baba. I am from Rudrapur, Uttarakhand. I think this is a better way of presentation. It will save you time. What did I talk about? In my previous session, the first session, that think of interview. If it was an essay, you have just one A4 sheet. Don't you want to present more points by being as terse as possible? I successfully completed my bachelor's in chemistry from Ramjas College. So, like, how many people will be unsuccessful in finishing their bachelor's in chemistry? Very few people will be. So, why you want to? No need to write a lot, use flowery, ornate language at all. Be as simple and effective communication in an interview where they have to like take multiple interviews and have to select people, so they'll be very objective, very cold, very mathematical in their approach when it comes to selection. And on the other hand, the students will be thinking, oh, it's a Bollywood film going on that we all like, feeling hot from inside, charged up or nervous, both ways it can be swinging and all. So they would love students from their point of view. If you think they love students who are simple, making effective communication, presenting a variety of points, interview over, selected, that type. So instead of saying I successfully competed, you could have just said, sir, I have done chemistry from Ramjas College or done chemistry honors or bachelor's in chemistry from Ramjas. I have done both. I like reading fictional novels and I love to dance. Okay, this is a good point. But then when you are in the beginning only saying that, hi, my name is, hello, sir, or, good evening, sir. My name is Ria. I am from Rudrapur, Uttarakhand. I have done my bachelor's in chemistry from Ramjas College, Delhi University. Even if you don't say Delhi University, Ramjas College, people know it's Delhi University, Ramjas College. And then I like reading. Then so till now, you're giving them very basic facts which are they can make out, maybe from their form also. Now, this is the first point you're talking from an interview perspective that I like reading fictional novels. Now, like this is your first point. You have to think like that. How good you are in this point. You have to understand. Professors generally read a lot. Yeah, I don't read. I'm not a professor. I don't read a lot. So they are professors. They'll be reading a lot. Like one of the most common things about them may be that they'll be reading a lot. So when you are also saying, okay, sir, hi, my name is Ria. Tell me about yourself. I like reading fictional novels. You better be good in it. You have a good list, and you be ready for some questioning. Questioning का मतलब ये नहीं है that they will start asking you like GK questions and all. Like what you know about it, they will start questioning that. Always know. 9 out of 10 times they will question only something which you are only saying. So you should be very careful about the order in which you present. So in her order, this is first, reading fictional novels. Second, love to dance. I actively involved in co-curricular, school, college, debate, dance, presentations. So in this, okay, I also got the opportunity to be house captain, okay, which enhanced my leadership qualities. Stop talking about leadership. This is a very often misused word, or maybe leadership is too big. Don't you think leadership, like what leadership? Top management. Talk about like it basically, like you have mentioned, it enhanced my leadership qualities. You would have said that it imbibed management skills in me. Management skills is better. Don't use leadership. They start, you think you're a leader and all, and then their guns are going to be out. So be safe. During my 3 years in Rangers, I was part of organizing teams for several events in chemistry department. I participated in International Modern United Nation Conference and received verbal commendation as well. So here, one very important thing is the points have to be coherent. Like it shouldn't be tell me something about yourself, shouldn't become an exercise where you are just talking about your co-curricular participations. The way it has to be presented, it has to sound logical and connected to tell me something about yourself. For example, in this answer, suddenly last I participated in national. First, you are saying during my 3 years in Ranjas, I was part of ongoing team for several events in the chemistry department. And then I participated in International Model United Nations Conference and received verbal commendation. It's just coming out of blue. You need to relate. You need to relate. They might ask you, okay, why you're telling us this? So you have to say that you like doing it, or you don't have to be very verbose, but you need to. For example, if I was framing your answer, I will say that, good evening, sir. My name is Ria. I am from Rudrapur, Uttarakhand, and I have done bachelor's in chemistry from Ramjas College. Sir, I'm very fond of reading fictional novels, and I love to dance and have done dance presentations as well. So instead of like in the next point saying I am actively involved in co-curricular activities at my school and college, like what's the point of saying this? Like debate. So debate and dance is again coming. You have already mentioned I love to dance. You could have added it there, and then sir, I also like participating in debates. I have had some exposure to management's skills. Then you can talk about that. I got the opportunity to be the house captain, and then when you're talking about house captain, you don't talk about enhanced to leadership. You should better use the words that did you do something special as a house captain? Like what? Did you do something special? Did you like I talked about innovative, something innovative, like what इतने हर साल ही हाउस कैप्टन बन रहे हैं तुम्हारे स्कूल के हाउस के, तो तुमने एज अ हाउस कैप्टन तुम्हें क्या लोग याद रखेंगे सोच के कि रिया what did she do? So better use it for that rather than saying that sir enhanced my leadership qualities. Then fifth, when you're talking about during my 3 years in Ramjas, I was part of ongoing teams for several events in the chemistry department. So what is the point that you want to talk through this? Are you saying that you like multitasking and being involved in multiple things, like क्या बोलना क्या चाह रहे हो इस point से, ठीक है, this is a point. This is very important is because they're asking you, tell me something about yourself. They're not saying that, okay, Ria, can you tell us your co-curricular achievements, extracurricular achievements, scholastic achievements? They're not asking this. They're saying, tell me something about yourself. The way you present these points, only these points are valid, has to be slightly different. I participated in International Model United Nations Conference and received verbal commendation. So what's the point that you want to say through this point? That is very, very important. Are you like saying that you are someone, like it's open to interpretations. Now, someone participating in International Model United Nations Conference and receiving verbal commendation. Two things. A, are you saying that you are one of those who are genuinely concerned with what happens across the globe and these deliberations, which uses some people to share their points of view and communicate it? Are you talking about that? Or are you talking about that you like participating in events? So this is also one of the events. But are you saying you're good with oratorial skills? What is the point that you want to communicate through it? So tell me something about yourself is not only your hard points, it's your soft points as well. Like what do you want to talk about from this point? I'll give you a hint. So let me get back to the. Okay. So I'll explain this to you. During my stint at Fleet Management Global Group Hong Kong, one of our ships was basically captured by pirates. So there is a country called Somalia and there is a port of Isle there. So at any given point of time, there'll be 100 to 150 ships which are captured. And then we have to negotiate with the pirates. Of course, we cannot negotiate. Now, how will I as an Indian know the Somalian pirates? So then there are channels also. You'll communicate with someone and they'll communicate, there'll be like professional people, professional negotiators and all. Plus at the same time, I had to do PR of the company also because ship is captured. So there are naval officers there, merchant navy officers there, and crew also. Their families are worried that are they alive also or not. So like in media, I had to do the PR. Plus, these family members of the seafarers, they were also very aggrieved and they were very sad. So I hired, a counseling firm called Perfect Relations, which used to give positive counseling to them, call them to hotels, engage in positive talk with them that his negotiation is, progressing. Plus, the negotiator was trying to reduce the amount. I recall that they started with $15 million. We got it down to $1.5 million. So that was another big win. So this was a crisis management. Plus, I had to deal with the government, Ministry of Shipping, Government of India also. And there is NSIU, National Seafarers Union of India, NSUI. So these people also are political people. So I had to deal with them also. Finally, the ship got released, in less than 3 months. It was a big victory. Some ships are there for 6-7 months also. Plus the amount got reduced from 15 to $1.5 million. Plus, like the family members were very, very happy and all. No tamasha happened. Plus, apart from this, the government of India that year awarded our company, Fleet Management, best foreign employer of Indian seafarers. So, like overall, like it showed that I was good at crisis management. And I was able to use a crisis and opportunity to further, bolster the positive image of the company in the minds of the consumers, which were merchant navy people, seafarers, as well as the government and overall. So what's the point I want to talk about? I'm good at crisis management. You have to tell them why. Ship Member, sir, one of the ships were captured. I did. What do you want to talk, sir? Multitasking, handling different crisis at the same time. So the headline was crisis management. So in your points also, it shouldn't come across as you're just like people say name dropping. You're not just dropping achievement or dropping some, like you have to tell them what is the point that you want to communicate through it. No, it is not necessary to read business related books. However, what I would like to suggest strongly to you people is read this book called Blue Ocean Strategy. I will also post it in all the Telegram groups. It's very, very important. Why Blue Ocean Strategy is not a novel or a book which is like from beginning till end. It's basically a compilation of cases These are successful cases. So marketing में कुछ किया, उससे फायदा हुआ कंपनी को, से operations में क्या change लाया, ये मतलब different companies and their cases are given. Cases belong to different domains like finance, marketing, operations, systems, HR, strategic management. So it starts giving you some idea कि okay management में ये सब जो divisions है, you will start seeing that you will start developing a natural liking towards some of these domains. आपको मार्केटिंग के केसेस अच्छे लगेंगे या फाइनेंस के लगेंगे, ऑप्स के लगेंगे या स्ट्रेटेजिक डिसीजंस यानी स्ट्रेटेजिक मैनेजमेंट के लगेंगे. सो ब्लू ओशन स्ट्रेटेजी इज अ गुड बुक. प्लस दो स्टूडेंट्स हु आर मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स एंड आर ट्राइंग टू गो फॉर ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट, दे शुड रीड दिस बुक कॉल्ड गोल्ड बाय गोल्ड रैट. तो वो भी आई विल post it on the telegram group. You guys can yes Udesh, you can share your answer. I hope you guys are, so Udesh is going to be posting his answer now. He's a BTech student from IT. So, and he has got good percentile at a IIM Calcutta call as well. Congratulations. He was one of the Excelsiors 1 year ago, 2 years ago. I'm Udesh Kankani. I belong to Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh. I received my bachelor's in electrical engineering. Then my focus was on electrical machine and power transmission and distribution system. So Udesh is initially only their professors, and very high chance that even in the least of possibility, two of three will be engineers only, and one will definitely know about what he's talking about. So they'll start asking, maybe they'll stop him there and they'll start asking questions. I have taken trainings and workshops from L&T, and see why. So Udesh has done a right thing by talking about academics as well in the beginning. Why? You are going there for an academic program. I keep telling this to the students. Placement is a 10 to 15-minute activity. So how my placement happened, it was a telephonic interview from Hong Kong, and just 2 CVs were shortlisted for the summer internship for Nobel Group, me and one other person called Rohit Koshi, who was, a BTech from IIT Delhi with 7-8 years of experience. It was telephonic interview, 5 minutes interview is over, and I was selected. You have to understand, it's just even though you are going there for placements, but like in those 2 years, it will happen for 1 day for you. So what is happening the rest of the time? It's the same subjects, class, those professors who are coming from outside, who are not local institute professors, and night classes over weekends, like Raat ko bhi classes, tests, like projects, presentations. Like generally the course thing is going, the academic program thing is going, and they're also professors. So the subject line, top on subject line, if you know about the subject, will always get you brownie points that you have to like get crystal clear about. Then I've taken trainings and workshops from L&T and UP Lucknow. Being good at reasoning and aptitude, I secured 48th rank among 3.5 lakh students in a pan India scholarship test conducted by Upgrad Jeet. Okay, yeah, 48th rank out of 3.5 lakh students is good. So I also served as the General Secretary of Arts and Cultural Activities for 2 years in my college, wherein I worked with a team of 50 volunteers and designed budget for 5 inter-college events and conducted them. It's going good, Udesh. In the free time, I engage in reading books and business case studies. Okay, you have to be very sure about it, Udesh, because I don't know who likes reading business case studies in their free time. So either it's a fake thing, or even if you have read few case studies, you better be sure about this. See, some things, it doesn't sound real. It may be real. I'm not saying Udesh it's unreal, but I'm saying sometimes things will not sound very real. So there is a very high possibility maybe they will start, taking your class on case studies and which case studies and all those things. So I also enjoy photography, very good, and I have worked as a media associate with the Soul Within Foundation for 2 years. Very good, very good, very good. Raman has written igniting. I don't know what is getting ignited in here. He's writing this igniting. Okay, fine. So Udesh, it is very good. Just the case study part, that in my free time, I like reading business books and case studies. Whoa. They're going to be teaching you. This is what they do for a job, living. They are writing business case studies and they're teaching case studies. So in any good business school, like I am also, teaching is like the pedagogy is very different. Like it's not like a school, college, and all. So suppose the first class of financial accounting will happen in your first semester. The professor won't teach you what is P&L, what is a balance sheet and all. You're supposed to know everything. You're supposed to study everything beforehand. They'll discuss a case of a company. The case will be of 10 pages, 15 pages, 20 pages. So it will be a case study based discussion, throughout those 2 years. Even the test will be mostly on case studies and all. So, you have to be very, very sure when you use these kind of words. Otherwise, very good, Udesh. You have done a good job. Okay, so Varun Wadhwani has mentioned about his wait. Give me a break, guys. Don't go crazy. Okay. Soon it will happen that people will start. Udesh is writing, sir, I have read case studies of Ford, Apple, Walmart, and many others. I have also read books like The Tipping Point. So not only The Tipping Point, Udesh, थोड़ा पूरा मतलब अच्छा, because you're saying in your free time. या फिर बोलो nowadays. You're saying in your free time you like reading these things. So तो अच्छा list होगा ना, थोड़ी 1 2 होगा, 4 5 होगा, 10 होगा, 20 होगा, मतलब कम से कम जैसे that girl Ria, she has talked about fictional novels. तो कम से कम 15-20 का तो लेके तुम्हें रिया चलना है मन में कि इतना तो है, इसके बारे में बात कर सके वगैरह. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, सो Aditi Singhal is asking, along with educational background, can we include professional certification? Of course, you have to, Aditi, include professional certifications. किया ही क्यों था मतलब? If you don't use it in your resume, where else or in like where else will you use it? Okay, other questions? Other questions? So, what are the primary things? If I am asked that, okay, in an interview, what percentage allocation I would do कि personal questions का क्या weightage है, academic questions का क्या weightage है, general awareness का क्या weightage है, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये ना मतलब 50-30-20 में ले लो इसको. Like 50% goes to your personal clarity, goal clarity about yourself, because that's your opportunity to lead the interview. Maybe you can go to the interview in that direction only, that everything asked in the interview is what you wanted to ask, like your answers about personal questions and all in interviews also. So 50% personal interview questions, 30% the academic background that you come from, and academic background for working people is academic as well as they talk about the work experience as well, and 20% you can give to general awareness. So it's like that. You have to get it very clear in your head, so that initially in the beginning part of the interview only you are able to just finish the person interview questions part. So the order is academic connect, skill set connect, environmental connect, USP. Use this to make the SOP, why MBA, why you. Then make the most important answer to the most important question. Tell me something about yourself. Because 60% of the chance is minimum 60% is that you will be asked, tell me something about yourself. That is very, very important. And then other questions that I have posted on the Telegram, whether it is short-term, long-term career goals, why should we select you, why we shouldn't select you, or which is your favorite subject and why, which is your least favorite subject, and why. I was asked this question, which is in I am posing good interview, which is the least favorite subject. So I told them, they asked me either that or weakest subject. So I told them higher maths because I'm a non-BTech. Then they gave me 3 questions related to higher maths. I was not able to solve them. So that proved my point. I was not very good at them. And then they asked me about my hobby. I talked about cricket and they asked about it and they saw genuine passion and understanding of the game. And that's the interview was over. So like personal, what was the personal question? Both were personal questions. Weakest subject, personal question. Hobby, personal questions. Only 2 questions, personal. Then I recall in I'm Indoor's interview, I had mentioned in my resume that I had worked for UNESCO and I have also worked for the Polio Plus program. So they asked me about the experience, best experience I had when I was visiting rural areas. What's the best experience I had? So that was one. And the second, because my hometown is Ranchi, which is capital of Jharkhand, and Ranchi is like Chota Nagpur plateau. It's a plateau, so geographically it becomes different from other places. So they asked me some geography questions related to it, and that's it. The interview was over. And in I'm Lucknow's interview also, they asked me the same thing about the Polio Plus program and all. And the one of the interviewers there, I don't know, they thought that I'm a communal guy because I had read it as a part of the report that in the Polio Plus drive, it has been noticed that at a lot of places in Muslim, where a lot of Muslim households are there, they are basically averse to, accepting the Polio Plus. drop. So the interviewer, one of the interviewer, MJ Akbar, the journalist, who was arrested also, I think last year or last year, he started getting angry at me that I'm communal, but I told him that I've read it. It's a part of the government report and all. He was asking what I know about the Polio Plus program. So it can also sometimes you can be in trap for no reason. It is very, very genuine. And then I went for my IIM Calcutta interview. During that time, IIM Calcutta used to like only take engineers. So my GD went very well. The interviewers, they didn't take the interview only. They told me, that you were very good in your GD and all, but we can't take you because you're coming from BA honors and law background. And we have a very quantitative way of teaching management. It's a very quant-based management program that we run at IIM Calcutta. So I told them, sir, my percentile is above 99 in maths. Why don't you ask me some maths questions? He said, you don't understand. It's not about maths. It's about different way of teaching only. And if you're not exposed to that, you might face a problem. So still also you see that generally IIM Calcutta is known as the den of, BTech people generally. So these were my experiences. So mostly it was personal. Like it's personal, like it's very personal. Like students also keep telling me what they are asked. Most of the times, okay, sometimes they might ask you like, okay, if you're coming from a particular place or city and something like general awareness related thing, but that's not the whole and soul of the interview. They would have asked you something personal also. So please be very, very sure and very, very confident about the personal stuff, and overall also be very, very confident so that you're able to lead the interview in the right direction. Udesh is writing, reading books. I have read 40 plus books from diverse genres, including fictional novels as well. I can name them if they ask further. No, so Udesh, when you're others also understand this. If you're saying you like reading fictional novels, you mention which are your favorites also, no? Like if they have asked you, tell me something about yourself. You just can't say that, sir. I like reading books. Arey bhai, which books are your favorite? At least mention your top three, top five. Mention maybe if you like a particular genre, then about that genre, your favorite authors and all. But give them some opening so that even if they have to ask a question, otherwise what will happen? You just say I like reading books. Then they'll ask you, okay, so if you ask me, so Ria said that, sir, I'm very fond of reading fictional novels. So Ria, what did you like in The Wuthering Heights? I'm expecting Ria to type the answer here. What did you like the most in Wuthering Heights? She's not writing anything. That means she doesn't know about it. Wuthering Heights. Sir, I haven't read that book. It's a very popular book by Emily Bronte. There were these two sisters, Emily Bronte and Charlotte Bronte, and this Wuthering Heights is considered to be one of one of the biggest romantic novels with sad ending and all. So, like, they will start asking there, but it's in my list to read. Okay, you can't say this. You don't know what's the news, sir. It's in my list, but that's an important. That's like how Joey will answer his friends maybe. So what you have to understand, you have to tell them what you want like them to know so that they can cross question you. So if you are saying that, sir, I'm very fond of reading fictional novels and my favorites being maybe John Grisham, Robert Ludlum, and you name your 4 or 5 top favorite ones and which are the favorite books and all, they give them some opening. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions so far? Because this is very important for me that you post your doubts, like what all doubts you have. I'm there to answer to them right now as we continue our discussion on how to give successful interviews. Okay, so plus I am 100% sure that as we'll be doing multiple boot camps, so we will be having different types of interviews and all. For example, those students, especially the BTech students who are interested in product management and they see themselves as a product manager few years down the line. So, one of my very close friends, Amit, he's from IT, BSU and IFT. So he is currently heading, Google Maps at Singapore. So like he will be like testing you. That one more friend of mine, he's working with Google Hyderabad. So like product management, okay, we'll have that kind of interview where we'll be truly tested in it. Similarly, if you want to be talking about that consulting, so like how a lot of you guys who want to be a part of consulting, they should definitely participate in this Saturday Sunday boot camp, the coming boot camp, because it is being like taken by people from the top 3 consulting companies, which will be your dream also to join McKinsey or Bain or BCG and all. So be prepared, observe, but don't be a chore. Means don't copy paste others answers, because you won't be able to defend them because they're not your points. So when I ask you to observe the interview, okay, take the experience of observation, but don't copy, because that will be counterproductive. It's going to screw your answers only. Even if you have 3 points, I say even if you have 2 points, 3 points, it's more than sufficient. If you have 10 points, it's not possible that you'll be able to showcase or talk about on all those 10 points to the interviewer. So finally it ends up like तुम्हें 3-4 ही पॉइंट बताने को, 2-3 ही पॉइंट बताने को थोड़े मौका मिलेंगे मैक्सिमम इंटरव्यूज में, उससे ज्यादा मिलेगा नहीं तुम्हें मौका. So ठीक है, it doesn't matter if you have less points, if you have more points. What is more important is that तुम्हें जो बोलना है इंटरव्यू में, जिससे तुम्हें लगता है तुम्हारा चांसेस ऑफ सिलेक्शन हायर होता है, उसको कम से कम बोलो. It is very very important that you talk on that. Okay. Anyone else who wants to post there, tell me something about yourself so that I can critique it in front of everyone and everyone can get an idea. But the idea is very basic. The structure is your basic introduction, which is just what's your name and where are you from and what are you currently doing, and then to your most important points. That's how tell me something about yourself is going to be. So plus if you can naturally or organically place why MBA and why you also tell me something about yourself, nothing beats it. But it has to not come across as something forcibly done, But it has to be a very natural, organic way. So it's very, very important. For example, someone who has exposure to management work. Management work is not necessarily happening only in top-end companies. Right? In Fest also you are doing management work. So if you are talking about, your exposure to management work in Fest, like how 1-2 people talked about, then it's a part of the SOP as well as it is a part of the tell me something about yourself. Because why are you there? You're not there to waste their time. You're there because you've applied for a management degree, for a management academic program. So of course, like anything which is directly relevant to that particular talk increases your chances of getting selected. What should a production man aspirants focus on as an interview? What should, you're saying production? Are you saying production, Harsh? Product management. Don't worry. The product management part, you have to explore 2 areas in it. One is either currently you are doing a work which has exposure to product management, that is the first thing. And B, you also Google product manager skills. So you will find a host of skills in it. So the skills which you have along with your best achievements, mention that. Other questions? Varun, you want me to critique your, tell me something about yourself, right? Yes, sir. Post it again then, so that everyone just copy paste it again. So we are reading another answer right now about tell me something about yourself, and don't be shy in posting your answer. Like Ria is there. Of course, I ridiculed some points in her answer because they were to be ridiculed. So it helps her only, na? Like in the real now she'll change the answer, whatever changes she has to do. Then there'll be no more ridicule of that answer. Why you want to hide your answer and then later be ridiculed, by the interviewer or in the boot camp. My name is Varun Vadwani. I was born and brought up in Varanasi. Like, why use less words? Like, born and brought up. Like, who are you? Alexander the Great, born in a plate. So just say you are from Varanasi. Use less words. Currently, I am working with Quadra as a project coordinator, when I was also appreciated for my efforts. क्या है ये मतलब काली पार्टी चल रही है? I was also appreciated. Don't use these words. Sir, I was very well known. I was very appreciated. Just say na, I was working as a project coordinator where I was also named the employee of a quarter. The quarter क्या? A quarter ना बाहर को साल में तो 4 quarter आ रहे हैं. A quarter. I have so ये इस तरह से present करना है. I completed my graduation from IIT Lucknow in Electronics and Communication Engineering. In my college, I actually participated in multiple societies, vogue, rhetorical. अब ऐसे थोड़ी उनको ब्रैकेट में बोलोगे तो ये भी तुम्हें देखना है वरुण दैट सी यू गाइस हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड सो लाइक ऐसे बात करोगे तो यू विल बी टॉकिंग देयर सो यू विल बी लाइक आई एक्चुअली पार्टिसिपेटेड इन मल्टीपल सोसाइटीज ब्रैकेट वोक रिटोरिकल तो क्या बोलना है जो एग्जैक्ट वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन होने वाला वो सोच के तुम्हें टाइप करके पहले अपने पास एक बार क्लैरिटी चाहिए कल्चरल इवेंट्स पराक्रम ऑनकोर अंकुरन and was elected. तो ये समझाना पड़ेगा, पराक्रम है, ऑनकोर तुम्हारे लोग का मेन फेस्ट है आईटी का, तो मतलब you have to say ऑनकोर भी, तो उसको just name dropping is not good. Something which is specific to your school, your college, or to your work, how do you expect the other person to know? One person had written, I am a part of SPO. I said, what the hell is SPO, man? He says, sir, it is some placement office, like, student placement office. So, like, how? You have to explain. I was a class representative for 4 consecutive years. Good point. During my graduation, I also founded a startup with my colleague. It was for guiding students regarding their upcoming future and the path they should select and how they should go about it. In free time, I play. तो इन फ्री टाइम को छोटे वे में भी बोल सकते थे ना, करियर काउंसलिंग था तो एक वर्ड यूज करके करियर काउंसलिंग, फिर वो पूछते क्या करियर काउंसलिंग करता था, फिर समझाओ कि इतना लंबा सा रिगार्डिंग आपका, मतलब व्हाई डोंट बी वर्बोस, बी एग्जैक्ट इन योर वर्ड्स. अगर एक वर्ड से किसी चीज को, या 3 वर्ड का एक लाइन, 4 वर्ड का एक लाइन से यू कैन एक्सप्लेन समथिंग, प्लीज डू दैट, लर्न द आर्ट ऑफ इट. Verbal talk is not like an essay talk. So in my free time, I play volleyball and ukulele. I also have this strange habit of watching advertisements. You just say I like watching advertisements. Why don't you say strange? You want to say that you're Doctor Strange? No, you're not Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is different. I was also part of social clubs where we used to teach underprivileged children. Are you talking about Parmarth? Varun, are you talking about Parmarth, which is so you name it, huh? That's why I was part of the social club called Parmarth, which where we say it. And this is very important because see, all the IIMs or any other good ME institute, they have the social services group. So of course, in the interview, what they are looking at, okay, something which you guys are not understanding. A lot of things happen in any MBA institute. They need people who will be good at cultural or sports और academics, और they think इनका placement अच्छा हो जाएगा, इनका personality ऐसा है, मतलब like हर तरह के लोगों को उनको जरूरत चाहिए. वो एक आदमी में सारे तो भगवान तो ढूंढ नहीं रहे. So तुम में जो ये सब है सारे important है उनको, लेकिन अच्छे से you have to put it across. So Varun, was I clear in the way? अब यही वरुण अगर परमार्थ में कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डनरी वर्क किया होता तो वो पॉइंट ऊपर आता. अभी है जस्ट मेंशन दैट परमार्थ का ये पार्ट था, अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड चिल्ड्रन को ये पढ़ाता था. एक बच्चे ने क्या लिखा है कि हट्स में जाके पढ़ाते थे, वो जो एक्सपीरियंस था, क्योंकि वो लोग बच्चों को हमारे कॉलेज नहीं भेजते थे आईटी पढ़ाने के लिए, तो ये जो अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड फैमिलीज के बच्चे थे उनको हम जाके उनके हट्स में पढ़ाते थे. तो वो एक कितना अलग एक्सपीरियंस है, मतलब हाउ मेनी पीपल विल लीव द कंफर्ट ऑफ their life to go to huts and all those things and all, and so that came thoda upar karke. Ankur Singh, sir, no specific branch, then what can be framed for career goals, or which branch you will choose in second year question? Generally you are not asked, this question is not a very high probable question, highly probable question in the interviews, that तुम क्या करना चाहते हो, फाइनेंस की, ऑपरेशंस की, सिस्टम्स, एचआर, ये सब कुछ नहीं, इतना तो नहीं पूछेंगे. सिर्फ और सिर्फ if you are very sure you should talk about a specialization. Sometimes what will happen is that it's like they are, so maybe some finance professor is taking your interview and you're saying I'm interested in finance, so what will he ask about? He will ask about finance. So he will ask good questions because he teaches finance for a living only. So you are understanding, you are getting into a trap. Only get into a trap if you're really sure that you can also convince that if you're not able to answer that, so that's the reason I want to do MBA, because I have to learn about these things. But don't just random finance karna hai, marketing karna hai, because only when for some of you will not be knowing finance and you will just say I want to do finance, and you will not be knowing the subjects of finance also, or will have nothing related to finance in your life so far. It's like, why? At least study the subjects. What if you hate the subject, you don't like the subject? There'll be natural. Do you know what happens for real? You may thinking you'll be doing finance and marketing and operation systems, HR. When you start studying those subjects from first semester only, so you will have a natural liking or dislike towards it. So you will select ye nahi karna, ye karna. It will not be guided by abhi. It will be guided by when you will be studying the subject. Yeah, if you're very sure, then please do. For example, that's the reason for finance people. This program, Dhruv is our student, and he did his BTech from IT Chennai, and then he got through MDI. He is currently studying in MDI. And he requested to me that says students who are interested in finance, I want to help them as a part of the CSR activity of IIT of MDI Gurgaon. Like, I want to train them so that they can take this test which is approved by SEBI or something like that. So you do all those things, but it's not a compulsion. It's not a compulsion. Plus, in the second year, you need to select credits. So from one area only, all credits, like even if you select all credits from an area, say finance, still you will be needing more than 2 times the number of those credits. So like it's not that you will only be doing finance or only be doing marketing or only be doing operations or system. You'll be doing minimum 2 to 3 in your second year. You'll be doing majors. So it's called majors, minors. So above 15 credits is a major, below 15 credits is a minor. So you'll be doing major in minimum two, and some will be doing major in 3 also. So because you want to go for a business decision role, right? The business decision role will a lot of times have decisions which will be related to multiple functions. So like how can you just think of being a functional expert? Tell me. Yes, Agarwal, sir, I am working as an audit professional and people do CPA or ACCA or CA that helps them grow in this particular domain. How should justify not doing a professional certification, getting into? So, is your question, Yash, that you will be asked that why you are not going for a CA program and why you are going for an MBA program? Is that your question? Okay. Fine. So here you have to compare the work of a CA and you have to compare the work of someone who is doing an MBA. So the works are very different because CA's work is restricted to like it can be explained that okay, these are the works of a CA. But the MBA domain is way bigger. It's not restricted. What I can also do, because then abhi discussion will not be relevant to a lot of people and all. You like talk to me tomorrow morning. So I will maybe connect you to a finance MBA as well as a CA, and then they can make you write down okay, what are the tasks that a CA does, what are the tasks that maybe someone who has an MBA with a major in finance also does. So there are two different things here. So we can talk about that. Because finance also is very broad, no? There are investment side also, there are multiple sides which are there. Shreya Singh, what about students who don't have any professional achievements or not worked anywhere and also not participated in any co-curricular, extracurricular, what they should do? In tell me something about yourself. So this is a very, very nice question, You will have something, talk about that, know yourself, know yourself. It's like whatever little you have to make do with it because you have to crack the interview. Now you cannot fabricate things, you cannot cook up things because you'll be caught. So if you're seeing that okay, others are having 10 points, 20 points, I'm having just 1 point or 2 points, make the most out of those 2 points. Because kuch to acha bolna hi hai. You can't, I told you cannot be at the mercy of the interviewer because they will ask random stuff. Now they'll ask whatever they know. So everyone's interest is different. You'll be stuck. Sufi Bhatia, sir, I do not have much non-curricular aspects to showcase. Non-curricular and talk about, but I have a work ex of 2.5 years in sales and marketing. So that's very big. Yeah, you're having 2.5 years of experience in sales and marketing. You can talk about the challenges, your observation, and how did you deal with it, and how you think you can deal in a better way with more exposure and MBA knowledge and all in hotels and all. So you are observing how the planning is happening, allotment of rooms is happening, to the billing and all is happening, to the customer service, whether it be food or it be the housekeeping. So like all this is a part of sales and marketing. It helps you in understanding consumer behavior also. So you have achieved awards and certificates for your performance as well. So you talk more about that. So you have to talk more about that, Sufi. Like जो भी आपका मेन पॉइंट है उस पे ही आप ज्यादा डिस्कस करो, ऑफ कोर्स. और इसके अलावा भी अगर आपके पास पॉइंट्स है तो आप थोड़े संक्षिप्त में यानी कि कॉन्साइज वे में बता दो. But if you're saying this is the majority of your points, then yeah, then it makes sense, na? It makes sense. You have work experience. What more? 2.5 साल से सेल्स मार्केटिंग में जॉब कर रहे हैं, एमबीए करने जा रहे हैं. एमबीए के 5 फंक्शंस होते हैं जिसमें एक मार्केटिंग भी होता है. So like what more is the direct connection? इनका काम है जो वर्क एक्स कर रहे हैं, so they have a very strong reason to pursue MBA, and they need to introspect and they need to come up with all the points about their work experience, क्या देखा क्या है, मतलब you have to अपने सीनियर से भी हेल्प लो. अगर तुम्हारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में MBA किए हुए सीनियर्स हैं तो और वैल्यू ऐड कर पाएंगे कि किस तरह से तुम्हारे लाइन ऑफ वर्क में और अच्छे से तुम एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो कि सर MBA करने से क्या क्या फायदा होगा, बिकॉज MBA करके काम कर रहे हो, तुम नॉन MBA होके काम कर रहे हो. So that is another very, very important point. Any other questions people are having? Post, don't feel embarrassed at all, no matter how your question is, because I can be more embarrassing. So let it be. Post your questions, and I want all of you to observe the boot camp over the weekend. It's going to be a really interesting activity. Why? Because these guys will be taking your interviews. They have gone through your process, and depending on their background, they have been asked questions, and they'll be looking for a similar thing in you guys. So it will be a time-tested thing. Okay, so now let us talk about. So we have talked about the personal interview questions part. We have talked about how important are academics and all. So you need to brush up on them. And I just gave a ready reckoner in the sense, okay, a beginning, or maybe prod, that okay, these are the kind of questions which have been asked from your background, in the interviews. But of course, you will be knowing which are your major subjects, which are basically the most important things in those subjects. हम लोग को याद है एग्जाम में भी कि ये पढ़ लो बस हो जाएगा, तो क्या क्या थे उनको एक बार रिवाइज कर लो, देख लो. It'll be easier to revise what you have studied well for your exams rather than something entirely new which you didn't study at all during your graduation. So know the important things of your graduation degree. Sometimes it might happen is sir, if freshers are asked why should they be chosen over people with work experience, what should be our answer? Jenny, why will they ask? Tell me, sure, why will they ask these questions? कि तुम्हें ले कि उसको ले, उसका वर्क एक्स है, ये सब कोचिंग में ज्यादा पूछते हैं मुझे लगता है. But yeah, okay, fair question. I'll answer to that question, but you have made me forget what I was discussing about. Can anyone remind me what I was discussing and what I get over engrossed in? Can anyone post a question and all? Fine, we'll come to that discussion later, but let me quickly respond to Aditya here. Okay, freshers, why they want to go for MBA and why should they be chosen over well experienced people or not? So you can answer that, sir. I can't compare myself with people with work experience or without work experience, but I can explain what are the reasons for which you should select me. What are the highlights of my candidates? So this way you can, because it's an endless debate, na people को work ex को ले कि तुम्हें ले क्या ले मतलब क्या है. वर्क एक्स वाला बोलेगा उसके पास रियल एक्सपोजर है, वो बोलेगा मेरे पास रियल एक्सपोजर है काम का. कॉलेज वाला बोलेगा जो फ्रेशर है दैट सर मैं तो पढ़ाई अभी भी कर रहा हूँ और ये एकेडमिक प्रोग्राम है तो लाइक आई विल बी एबल टू रिलेट टू द स्टडीज मोर. One will say I'll be able to relate to the studies more. One will say I'll be able to relate to the work part more. It's an endless debate. So that sir, I can talk about the reasons to select me, Aditya, and you can quickly go to the highlights of your, resume. So here I was talking about before, I was responding. You were talking about what should one start working on till the boot camp. Yeah, we are talking about the academic questions actually. We are talking about that in academic questions. I have sent you, one document, but you will know what to study, what not to study. Please start studying it because they might ask you like questions. I told you 50% personal interview questions, 30% academic questions, 20% general awareness. Here, general awareness maybe don't focus on very small news, like focus on big news. Don't focus on very small news. Plus, of course, unfortunately, you're from Uttar Pradesh, so elections are happening here, so please be a little कि योगी सरकार ने क्या किया, कैसे किया, कौन कौन से स्कीम्स चलाए हैं और उनको आप समाजवादी पार्टी के जो स्कीम्स है उनसे कैसे कंपेयर करते हैं. आपसे अगर कोई पूछेगा क्या मिस्टर योगी को आप सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं कि आप अखिलेश यादव को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, सो यू जस्ट टॉक अबाउट द प्लान्स एंड ऑल which so you can do a comparison. If you ask me, then I can say that the previous government's focus is, we talk about Lucknow. So if I say that hello sir, my name is Ashish, I am from Lucknow. So then they ask me about this government thing and also so in Lucknow first you see with what you have observed and then you move to the schemes, what you have observed, So during the Samajwadi Party's regime, beautification of the city or the Gomti River front, or whether it be the Janeshwar Mishra Park or the Lohia Park, so a lot of focus was on the greenery and the environment, and the raw promotion of arts and literature, and these kavi sammelans and music and this and that. So वो हम लोगों ने बहुत देखा है. And then when we talk about the Yogi government, also we can talk about the various schemes. So you can compare whatever. So best part is the place where you are from locally. What is it that you have seen? Why? Because they like it. They will be knowing the schemes. कि this sarkar has done these schemes. This sarkar has done these schemes. But they will be like, okay, ये कहाँ से आ रहा है? ये मुजफ्फरनगर से आ रहा है. अच्छा, मुजफ्फरनगर वहाँ तो right पे होता तो क्या है बताइए. Then you can talk about कि locally what have you observed. Don't talk anything controversial here. मतलब locally, like whatever, don't talk anything controversial. Like I was talking about what greenery and all those. Don't talk about anything controversial. Talk about the local and then talk about the scheme. So their top five schemes and the previous government's top five schemes. What are they promising? Like how Kejriwal is focusing on education now. बच्चों का education, बच्चों की पढ़ाई वो सबसे important चीज होती है. So उनका जो अभी election pitch है उनमें main focus किन चीजों पे है. और उन सो लाइक देन क्या उनमें उन्होंने कुछ किया है लास्ट 5 years में, या फिर जहां उनकी रेस्पेक्टिव गवर्नमेंट है. एक टॉक अबाउट द फैक्ट्स. फैक्ट बेस्ड डिस्कशन विल हैपन. व्हाई? Unnecessarily, if you are from this state, you'll be dragged in because Feb March elections is there. What else are you expecting? You might be quizzed about the politics also. So this is about the general awareness. So ये बहुत important हो जाता है. This becomes very very important. And of course the climate thing is a very big thing. So be aware about the climate thing. What I used to discuss, the PESEL format: political, economic, social, technological, legal, environmental. अगर तुम ये 6 में पांच पांच भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स बना लेते हो, जो टॉप चीजें हैं, जो टॉप घटनाएं हैं, जो टॉप इवेंट्स हैं, 5 टॉप पॉलिटिकल में, एक तो यूपी इलेक्शन आ गया बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ यू गाइस आर फ्रॉम हियर, सो वो एक आ गया. फिर और क्या उसके बाद है जो पॉलिटिकल तुम्हें लग रहा है बहुत बड़ी बड़ी चीजें हुई हैं लास्ट 1 year में. ऐसा नहीं कि 5 साल पहले, 3 साल, 2, लास्ट 1 साल, मैक्सिमम 2 साल तक ही सोचना, 1 साल तक ही सोचो क्या हुआ है. करंट चीजों पे बातें ज्यादा होगी. सो इट्स वेरी लाइकली कि कोई ऐसा थोड़ी तुम्हें पूछेगा 4 साल पहले क्या, 5 साल पहले क्या हुआ था, उतना याद थोड़ी रहता है किसी को. सो फोकस ऑन द करंट थिंग्स. 5 पॉलिटिकल थिंग्स, 5 इकोनॉमिक थिंग्स. इकोनॉमिक में भी कुछ भी हो सकता है. एक टॉपिक हो सकता है, चलो द नेम ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट ओनली इज जीडीपी के बारे में बात करेंगे. जीडीपी क्या है, इंडिया की जीडीपी क्या है, वर्ल्ड का क्या है, नॉमिनल जीडीपी क्या है, उसमें ही परचेजिंग पावर पैरिटी क्या है, हम लोग अभी कहाँ है, इकोनॉमिस्ट क्या बोल रहा है, क्या परसेंटेज ग्रोथ होगा, वगैरह वगैरह. जीडीपी का ही पूरा खेल हो गया उसमें, और उसमें और भी टर्म्स के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत जानकारी हो गया. सो यू कैन हैव टू मेक डॉक्यूमेंट्स. जैसे एनवायरमेंटल पे भी 5 पे बना दिया. एक बना दिया लेटेस्ट क्या हुआ है, अभी जो मीट्स हुए हैं उसमें क्या डिस्कशन हुआ है. सेकंड बात हो गया, चलो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स के बारे में बात कर ली, एनवायरमेंटल इसमें पूरा चेंज हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है. मतलब यू हैव टू बेसिकली 5 डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी तुमने बना लिया अगर पेसल में, तो तुम्हारा काम बन गया. तुम्हारे पास इतना नॉलेज बेस हो जाएगा कि तुम कहीं का नॉलेज उठा के कहीं रेलेवेंट, इनडायरेक्ट होगा लेकिन रेलेवेंट वे में उसे पुट अप कर दोगे. Students are asking doubts also. Which will BTech students be asked about economics? If you haven't studied economics to a great extent, they see what is the difference. They won't ask you the economics course का बात. यहाँ तो GDP के बारे में पूछ रहा है ना normally. तो वो BTech हो, non BTech हो, musician हो, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है. GDP is a very relevant thing. Like something you can't escape कि ये मेरा background नहीं है. तो उसमें से एक आता है. तो लेकिन कोर इकोनॉमिक्स तो नहीं पूछेगा तुमसे. वो पूछेगा नहीं कि गिवन गुड्स के बारे में बताओ और इंफीरियर गुड्स के बीच में क्या फर्क होता है. दे वोंट आस्क यू दीस क्वेश्चन. इकोनॉमिक्स के बीबीए को, बीकॉम को वो इकोनॉमिक्स पूछेगा. सर इफ यू हैव स्टडीड फ्रॉम अनदर स्टेट देन शुड बी स्टडी अबाउट देयर स्टेट एज वेल. नहीं, उतना डेप्थ का जरूरत नहीं है. होम का मतलब ज्यादा होता है, उतना डेप्थ का जरूरत नहीं है. थोड़ा बहुत जानना जरूरी है. थोड़ा बहुत यू नीड टू नो अबाउट दैट स्टेट, क्या हो रहा है, कॉलेज सिटी का क्या अच्छा है. सोचो इंदौर से पढ़ रहे हो तो इंदौर का क्या अच्छा है वगैरह, इंपॉर्टेंट मॉन्यूमेंट्स क्या है ये वो, बट बहुत भी नहीं करना है. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन स्टूडेंट्स वांट टू पोस्ट? और कोई क्वेश्चन? Okay, so one question Akriti has posted, where we can read about the election schemes, and newspapers will have the content in a very segregated nature. वो तो न्यूज़पेपर क्या, वो जो पार्टी अपना ऐड दे रहा है उसमें ही तो लिख दे रहा है कि क्या क्या किए हैं मिस्टर योगी और मिस्टर मोदी, और वैसे ही बाकी पार्टी भी लिख देता है हम लोगों ने क्या किया। वो तो पार्टी वाले ही, if whether you go to the party's advertisements or you go to the party's website, they will only talk about कि उनके क्या है top 5, top 6, top 10, उससे ही तुम्हें लेना है। सिद्धि, there is no suggested magazine और site, तुम्हें multiple magazines और sites लेना होगा। एक तो टाइम का मैगजीन है, वो लास्ट 5-6 महीने का एक बार ऐसे ही देख लो। साथ में जितने भी 4-5 जो टॉप मैगजीन्स होते हैं, वो इंडिया टुडे हो या न्यूज वीक हो, जो 4-5 बहुत पॉपुलर वन है, उनको तुम लाओ। तो तुम्हें एक से काम नहीं चलाना है, तुम्हें मल्टीपल। जब आप गूगल पे भी कोई टॉपिक पे रिसर्च करो, ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ एक वेबसाइट का आर्टिकल देख लिया। मैं क्या करता था, कोई टॉपिक है तो डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट है, तो डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट टाइप किया और पहले पेज में जितने भी लिंक्स है 8-10-12 दो लिंक, सबको जाके रिसर्च किया क्या है। और उसमें भी अगर कोई हाइपर लिंक के थ्रू मुझे और अंदर जाना है और रेलेवेंट इंफॉर्मेशन है, तो उसको भी कॉपी पेस्ट किया, और ऐसे कॉपी पेस्ट करके अपना एक डॉक्यूमेंट बनाया। फिर उसको एक अच्छे वे में, मतलब कंसाइज और ऑर्गेनाइज वे में फाइनली पुट अप किया। दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू डू। एक से काम नहीं चलने वाला है इसमें। Okay, any other question before we end today's session? Any other question you guys have? Anything you want to suggest? We are open to suggestions as well. So I have done a few ERA courses on finance, and I want to pursue MBA in finance. But being from engineering background, I'm not able to explain it well. So it's okay still. But जो courses पढ़ा है कोर्स ERA पे finance का, उसको तो समझना है ना। उससे कोई सवाल पूछेगा तो बोलना पड़ेगा तुम्हें। Any other question? आप लोग में से बहुत लोग होंगे जो सर्टिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम्स किए हैं, कोर्सेज किए हैं वगैरह, तो आपको उसके बारे में तो जानना होगा ना। कोई बोलेगा मैंने डिजिटल मार्केटिंग कोर्स किया, फिर पूछेगा डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के कोर्स के बारे में, उसमें कुछ याद नहीं है, आता नहीं, तो दैट विल रिफ्लेक्ट वेरी पुअरली ऑन। नहीं, बहुत डीप नहीं जाएंगे ना, जो तुम पढ़े हो वही वो पूछेंगे तुमसे उद्देश्य। अगर तुम कुछ पढ़े ही नहीं हो उसके बारे में पूछेंगे, तुम तो बोल सकते हो सर ये नहीं था कोर्स में, तो इसका आइडिया नहीं, इसीलिए मतलब सर मैं प्रॉपर 2 साल का एमबीए करना चाहता हूँ। बट कोर्स का कुछ बहुत ही बेसिक चीज है, उससे तो तुम बच नहीं पाओगे, तो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। Riya is asking, sir, I really want to mention the IMUN wala part, but as you read, it was just like dropping name. How I should mention it? अरे क्यों पार्टिसिपेट किया था एमयूएन में, उसके बारे में लिखो ना। दैट तुम जो इंटरनेशनल एमयूएन हो रहा है उसमें अलग अलग नेशनैलिटी के लोग आ रहे हैं, उनसे इंटरेक्ट करने का मौका मिल रहा है, इससे कितना एक्सपोजर मिल रहा है। टेल मी exposure. For example, in I am Kozhikode, one of my best friends was Efizio Mura. He was an Italian and he had come from Milan. So I got to, through my friendship with him, I was able to at least understand something about his culture. You know, so it's very important. Like this is just one of the points I am saying, that MUN में पार्ट किया तो क्या फायदा हुआ। तो ये बोल सकते हो ना कि सर एक्सपोजर टू डिफरेंट कल्चर्स, आई गॉट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी लाइक एमयूएन वाला। फिर उसमें क्या, यू विल बी नोइंग क्या उसके हाइलाइट्स थे। दिस वाज जस्ट व्हाट यू टोल्ड मी, वन ऑफ द हाइलाइट्स, सो आई मेंशनड इट। आकृति, sir, will it be possible that you will send the topic list for current affairs that we should study? That has already been sent, Akriti. You joined late, so you remind me tomorrow. I will just send the document. एक आप लोग को तो भेजा है ना टेलीग्राम में दो। एक जो अंकुर सर, जो कि बहुत सीनियर कंसल्टेंट है, वो आए थे इंटरव्यू के लिए, तो उन्होंने भेजा, तो मैंने आप लोग को फॉरवर्ड किया। प्लस एक हम लोग की तरफ से भी आपको हम लोगों ने जो जीडी और डब्ल्यूएटी का इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स है वो भेजा है। सो यू नो, so Anushka, same is the case with you. You and Akriti are the two people who have just joined. So you take it from me. Shubham Kumar, sir, I did free online certificates on great learning. Can I mention what the hell is great learning? This is like there is a certificate program in great learning. The name of the program is great learning. Sir, will we have WAT classes? हाँ होंगे, अभी रुक जा रहा हूँ मैं। क्यों रुक जा रहा हूँ? बिकॉज देख रहा हूँ क्या, बिकॉज ऑफ द पैंडेमिक देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट द WAT माइट बी स्क्रैप्ड, सो गिव मी सम टाइम। इफ आई फील दैट ओके हाँ WAT होने वाला है 100% श्योरिटी है तो हम लोग स्टार्ट कर देंगे WAT का, बट दैट इज नो एक्सक्यूज फॉर यू टू स्टॉप कलेक्टिंग जनरल अवेयरनेस मटेरियल जो मैंने पेसल वाला समझाया था। अगर तुम्हारे पास मटेरियल नहीं होगा, पॉइंट्स नहीं होगा, तो WAT में लिखोगे क्या? कहानी नहीं लिखनी है वहां पर। So first gather the points. Anyway, WAT भी हम लोग करेंगे, you won't be having points. So collect the points first. वो ना गूगल सर्च पे तुम्हें बहुत अच्छा होना पड़ेगा और अपने से डॉक्स बनाने होंगे। और एक अच्छा रेडी रेकनर क्या है, वो जो लिस्ट, दो लिस्ट हम लोगों ने GD और WAT का किया, उसमें तुम अपने 5 फेवरेट टॉपिक्स, पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक, सोशल, ऐसे करके 5-5 उठा लो जो तुम्हें लग रहा है कि ये जनरली पिक अप द ब्रॉडर टॉपिक्स। ब्रॉडर टॉपिक्स को उठाओगे तो अच्छा है। स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक, बहुत स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक होगा, हो सकता है वो आए भी नहीं, तुम्हारा रिसर्च वेस्ट हो जाए। ब्रॉडर टॉपिक्स को उठाओ, जेनरिक टॉपिक्स को उठाओ वहां से। Yes, Siddhi, you message me, you all remind me tomorrow. Fine then. All the best guys, take care and do a lot of research. बहुत research की जरूरत पड़ती है इंटरव्यू में। पहले तो पर्सनल इंटरव्यू के क्वेश्चंस खत्म करो, ये ना एक पेनफुल चीज लेके मत कैरी करो आगे। जस्ट गेट गोइंग विद इट ASAP. बाय दिस वीकेंड योर पर्सनल इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन शुड बी डन। फिर एकेडमिक और बिजनेस अवेयरनेस में एक ये लेके चलो कि चलो हर दिन 3 टॉपिक उठाएंगे, उन पे डॉक्यूमेंट बनाएंगे। दिस इज व्हाट यू शुड डू। रटने की जरूरत नहीं है, कितना रट लोगे, मतलब नामुमकिन है। PESTLE 6 into 5 30 डॉक्यूमेंट से रट लोगे? हो सकता है कुछ कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट 3-3 4-4 5-5 पन्ने के हो, हाइलाइट्स रहेंगे, उनको देखोगे तो उनमें से कुछ तो 4-5 पॉइंट्स तो बोल दोगे, 3-4 पॉइंट्स तो बोल दोगे। उतना अपने पे ट्रस्ट करो, मत करने बैठोगे, you will kill the entire joy of learning and understanding and you'll just screw it up. So don't mug it up, just write it there, understand it. Even if you don't recall 100%, 30% of it, it is sufficient to crack interviews, WATs and GDs. Thank you to all of you as well and have a good night. But Tasneem has, I haven't received any documents. Don't worry, remind me tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow. Tasneem, you have also just joined, right? You are a newcomer. So, yes, don't worry. Would we have W18 top IMs as we are having interviews online? Less chances are there, Uddhav. Less chances are there. IIM Ahmedabad might still have AWT, but other IIMs may not be having WAT. But don't worry, we'll communicate as fast as we get correct info on this. Fine then, guys. Let's call it the day today. All the best and be good.